Hey guys, Brian from Wrenches and Rides, and we've been working on our 2019 Polaris Turbo S4 behind us, and we are adding new rims and tires, and it's going to become very obvious pretty quick as to why rims and tires are one of the most changed items on side-by-sides in UTVs. First, this Polaris came with a set of ITP Coyote tires that were 32 by 10 with a 15-inch rim. Great size tire. For us, it didn't really give the look of what the machine really has a potential of, and it was also more of an all-around tire with not overly aggressive tread. And with us riding anywhere from Michigan to West Virginia to out west, we wanted to get something a little bit better for our situation. Now, what we did in here is change up the rim and the tire, so we went with STI's HD9 6+1 Beadlock rim to continue to keep those tires in and keep the stock offset. That was important to us because the Turbo S is already 74 inches wide stock. We'll go over a lot more measurements with that later, but keep that in mind. That's why we wanted to keep that offset in and keep everything tight. Now, we wanted to go with the same size rim and tire. We really didn't feel the need to go up as we already have 32s, and this is a 4-seater, so it is quite a bit higher off the ground than what we're used to compared to our Can-Am X3 XRSs. Now, the tire we chose, and we took a long time looking for the right tire. I'm going to tell you, we put 2-3 months into it, and the perfect tire for us is the STI X Comp ATR. Flat out, it has a lot of things going for it. First, it's DOT approved, it's a 10 ply tire, and it is very square with a nice looking sidewall. Getting something that was a good wide tread pattern and a square tire is not always it's not always easy in the side-by-side world. There's a ton of tires out there. A lot of them are round, somewhat truck inspired, but this is the closest that we could find to a truck inspired tire that was DOT approved and 10 ply and did not weigh 1,000 pounds. So let's go through a lot of these specs that you're probably interested in, top to bottom, and starting out with weight. We weighed the STI tire alone, and that came in at 47.1 pounds. The STI tire and STI rim came in at 62.5 pounds. Now, some of you guys are gonna go, wow, that's pretty heavy. And in some ways it is, but when you compare it to the stock tire that came on it, the ITP Coyote and the stock Polaris rims, that weighed in at 58.5 pounds. So we're talking about a 4-pound difference per tire. It's not bad for what we're getting considering 10 ply, a lot more durability, and a DOT approved tire. This tire is going to give us a lot more tread. That's really what we want, and we'll get into that later. Now, I want to tell you all those measurements were done at 16 PSI in both tires. Now, when we measure them up, the STI X Comp comes in at about a 1/4 inch shorter than the ITP Coyote. It measured 31 7/8 inches tall, and the Coyote measured 32 1/8 inch tall. Now, I've also seen out there's been some different sizing from different people, so I'm not sure if there is manufacturing issues with some of them. I've seen some 32-inch Coyotes that measured up a lot taller than that. So here nor there, that's what ours came in at. Now, this is the big portion of why we changed tires. The stock Coyotes look very, very narrow, and their tread width is 7 3/4 inches wide, compared to the STI X Comps at 9 1/8 inches wide. Doesn't sound like a huge difference there, but looks wise and aggressive wise, that is huge and changes the machine entirely. Now, the overall width of the Coyote is 10 inches, so you get a very balloon-ish tire with a flat top, where the overall width of the STI X Comp is 10 3/4. So you're getting a little bit wider tire, and most of that 3/4 inches is coming from the additional tread that they put on the side of this tire, which is absolutely awesome and gives it that mean look and aggressiveness that you're going to use when you get into a little bit more mud or a little bit of hardpack that might have some different rocks and stuff in it. It's going to give you that extra protection. Now, the stock machine width in the front from measuring it alone, came in at about 73 3/4 in the front. The rear was 74. Wanting to keep that fairly close, but knowing we were going with a wider tire was going to be like, where are we actually going to come in? Now, with the new STI HD9s with the 6.1 and the STI X Comps, we came in at 75 inches in the front and 74 1/4 in the rear. That's awesome. We did not make a huge change to this, but we have a huge change in looks, in aggressiveness. It totally changed the way the machine looks. And when you just peek your head out beyond the driver's seat and look down in front of you, that tire looks absolutely massive. We didn't change the driving characteristics of the machine much. Everything is still there, especially with the offset of the rim staying the same. All we did is change up a tire that's just slightly heavier and made a little bit wider, flatter stance on the ground. I think that's going to be huge when it comes to riding in hardpack, and unfortunately right now all we have to ride in is some snow, but these tires are doing pretty awesome for the little bit that we've had them out in snow. What we're going to ask you to do is subscribe to our channel and give us a like in this video. That way we'll be able to keep you up to date as we get this machine out more towards the spring and test out these tires. But we're looking forward to having something that is DOT rated so that we can take this machine in Michigan and ride it on the road. Now, it's already legal in our township, in many of the townships in cities as you go north in Michigan of us, to ride these down the road. So we're going to continue to put on some turn signals and front windshield, do some more modifications so that we can make this thing super awesome, but also safe for riding on trails and down the roads as we go up north. So we appreciate your time, guys. We hope some of this information, it helps you out. If you have any more questions, please leave them below. We'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Again, thanks for your time. Have a great day.